Awesome.
Yeah, and I even had a little nephew come one day and look at it. He said, "Hey, Uncle, what'd you do? Win the lotto?" I said, no, I didn't win no lotto. It's just the grace of God and people, to help us and stuff. So, what it boils down to.
So we left. We loaded up 6 people and 6 animals in an RV and a pickup truck, and we headed down south. And we actually didn't even know how bad the hurricane was going to be. We left on Thursday, and then we didn't have any service, like television service or anything. Royce jumped in his truck after the hurricane, and he drove down, and he got a hold of his brother, and his brother said, "It's gone. It's all gone. Everything in the house is gone." Our initial reaction when we drove up to our house was complete and total devastation. And it wasn't even our home. It was like driving down the road to our house, coming into Aransas County. Like, you just realized all the trees were gone. Like, there were no leaves on any of the trees. They were just gone. Livestock was dead on the side of the road. It was horrible. It was horrible. But Royce's mom always used to say, what did she say? She said, where the Lord guides, the Lord provides. Anyways, so that was like the first thing that we talked about was, it's okay, God's here. And for some, and it was so strange. It was like driving to Aransas County, like we just knew that nothing was going to be the same, but we just felt the power of the Lord. It was amazing. It was amazing. Like, it would bring you to tears because his presence was so powerful. Anyways, so we got to the house and we sat there and we just walked through everything, and we realized like what we had to deal with, and we didn't realize it would take so long to recover. We're still not 100% done with our home. So, but the people that we met along the way was pretty amazing. Yeah. To this day, we're still in touch with them. A lot of them we're still in touch with. And the people who just came and like helped, and I walked into the church one day because I needed prayer. You're like on a roller coaster. I mean, emotionally, you're on a roller coaster because you're having to depend on all of these outside people, like your mortgage company, and you're waiting for FEMA, and you're waiting for insurance, and you're waiting for, and all you want is to have a home for your children. And so I found Marcy, and we just prayed in there, and Cindy said, you know what, you go in there, you just let them know what you need, and we will get you. And so we had cleaning supplies, and we had some food, and we had anything that we needed, and if they had it, they gave it to us with a happy heart. And it just makes you feel so much hope, and you're not alone. I think they have given people hope that there's hope that they're not alone. I know they just put a ramp in our home because my mother has multiple sclerosis, and after the hurricane, she moved in with us because it just wasn't a good situation for her to live on her own. But they've built homes. They've helped people everywhere. And if you go onto Facebook, Hands of Hope is always brought up. So how haven't they helped is the question. They've helped so many ways, with food immediately after the storm, with help now with their homes, with family. you know? And it's love. You walk through this door, you're going to get helped, and you're just going to get love. I love this place.
We were traveling from Ontario to Manitoba.
Okay.
And on the news, there was the information about the Hurricane Harvey and how it had affected people. And my husband turned to me and asked if I would be willing to go down and work, help out with the hurricane, like disaster relief. He had done that in his youth, and we had always thought that we would do something like that when we were retired. And so then I just agreed immediately, because just prior to the hurricane hitting, I had read an article, appeared on my Facebook feed, about how this lady was recruiting RVers to come and help with disaster relief. She was in Houston, and her daughter was scheduled for cancer surgery, and because of the hurricane, it was rescheduled, and she was in a hotel room calling RVers to come and help with hurricane relief before the hurricane even hit. I was able to contact the lady who had done that interview with the newspaper about her daughter. I contacted her through Facebook, and a couple of weeks later she called us and she connected us with the director of RVDC, and that's how we ended up in Rockport. We had never ever heard of Rockport. I mean, yeah, we knew that there were Winter Texans down in Texas, but we had never heard of Rockport exactly. We knew of Corpus Christi and Houston, but so when RVDC asked us where we would want to go, we just said, well, wherever you need us, that's where we'll go. And so that's how we ended up in Rockport. We got connected to Hands of Hope through the VRC, which is the Volunteer Reception Center. So RVDC released us as volunteers with their organization to come down to the Volunteer Reception Center and help. So I believe that last year we did 80 roofs. So that's kind of, with the rebuild stage, we decided to go with the roofs. Mm-hmm. So that was from mid-October to mid-April, where we did about 80 roofs with the help of Mennonite Disaster Relief and with CARE. And those were the two big organizations that we worked with last year. This year, it's kind of transitioning into still helping people that need help with the hurricane relief, but also broadening it to the meeting needs of seniors or disadvantaged people in the community.
Okay, on the port chart here, all of the screen, all the way around, they did that. And they framed out this door frame and put this door on. That was a big job, and it brought the porch back to life.
That was devastating, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was so overwhelming. You know, a family came down. We had two trucks, pickup trucks. Family came down because they knew, being elderly, we shouldn't come down alone. But when you saw, you couldn't get in your yard. There was debris and holes, and everybody else's stuff was and our stuff was all over. This whole porch was torn off.
Yep.
Several people had told us, didn't they? They said, "Oh, there's these trailers down by the Baptist church, and there's people helping." And we said, "Oh, I don't know. We, weren't used to asking for that kind of hope, but
you're in a position where you have to take it.
We prayed about that, and we talked about it, and we decided, well, why not? Just turn your name in. Maybe if somebody could give you a hand, it'll make you feel better,
We explained what was needed, or what we felt was needed, and kind of didn't know how this would turn out. What was the next step? So we kind of had to sit just back and wait, and then things started to roll.
It couldn't have been better, though. You couldn't have sent, those people are like angels of mercy. When you're overwhelmed and you're this I shouldn't probably pull the age factor, but when you're this age, you pretty much figure that, well, we can't do this, right? But think of the good that was done here. I mean, it's just wonderful, isn't it? I mean,
Yep.
You can bring people out to show them. I think it's a miracle myself.
Yes.
Now I'm going to live to be 100 just to get even.
We are full-time RV travelers and fell in love with Rockport 7 years ago. So when the hurricane came, we were parked at an RV park in Rockport, Texas. And on the Thursday before it hit, we watched it go from a Category 1 to a Category 4. At Category 1, we were going to stay put. At Category 4, we got out of Dodge and headed to Kerrville. It was something you never ever want to go through again, but it brought out the best in people. We were amazed at HEB, at large organizations that volunteered and donated their time and equipment and supplies. HEB became kind of a central place in Rockport to hand out water to folks, food to folks. Walmart stepped up. Many of the local businesses, even though they were devastated, helped out. Rockport Hands of Hope was formed as a result of this process, and ever since we have continued to help people that had extensive Harvey damage. To this day, we still have people that need help. We have restored many homes, rebuilt many homes, worked with organizations that built brand new homes. We've helped secure mobile homes, RVs, places that people could safely live and rebuild their lives. We still have a case management load today, which is why we keep this organization going. You know, as I look back on this, I realize that, and I'd have to say I was not a volunteer in my former life in any sense. I always neighbor help neighbor, but it was not forefront in my mind. It is now, and there is something that we all can do. Doesn't matter what your talents are, what your treasure is, what your skills are. You can help someone else. And that's what I take away. It was a heart-changing experience for me to go through this and be with people around me that went through it. If you came to Rockport today, you would be amazed at how Rockport has risen from the ashes. We took a major hit, but you know, you'll see signs around Texas strong, Rockport strong. It really was true. Not only that, it was volunteer strong. So I appreciate all that we've been able to do and accomplish, and I appreciate the leadership of this organization and this church. We have more to do, and you can help. Thanks, folks.
So I'm originally from Arizona and I live in Tucson, and at my high school, in order to walk across the stage, we have to do this thing called a senior expo. And so it's during your senior year and you have to go out into the community and help your community. So I decided that when the hurricane hit, I decided that that's what I wanted my expo to be, was to come to Rockport and help any way I could. So I went to an advisor and I said, hey, like, can I do this for my senior expo? And it was my junior year, and so that's not typical to start your senior expo your junior year. But my advisor said, absolutely, like, go for it. This is a big thing. You're really passionate about it. Go for it. I said, awesome. So I came down here with my dad. It was 4 days after the hurricane hit, and we brought a military grade generator and a pallet of water. And that was like the beginning of collecting supplies for people in the community and helping. So we would come to church every day, and with all the donations that we got, we made care packages. We would put food and water and shampoo and toiletries and a couple of cans of food in each bag, and we put it on my dad's trailer and drove around to all the streets that we could get to and just handed out bags of these care packages that we made. So we were here for 3 or 4 days doing that, and it was cool to see how the whole community came together, and there would just be barbecues and people would just bring food of what they had, and people could come and get food for free, and just everybody would eat together. And it was just really cool to see people all come together in this world today, because we're all so divided. So I've done everything from going and getting supplies for volunteers to actually going out into the community, passing things out. I've taken calls for people who need stuff. I've pretty much done it all, and it's been super cool. So, yeah.
With Harvey, the wind blew a lot of the shingles off the roof, and we had some of the windows broken. So that affected the inside of the house a lot. When it would rain, we got a lot of water coming in and everything. We started getting mold and mildew, and it was just hard trying to get help to get it fixed. We qualified for this and we didn't qualify for that, because it was just not time for us, I guess. But close to 2 years, almost 2 years, a year and a half.
Those 2 years.
Wow.
China.
Before we finally got help with Hands of Hope came into our life. And after they came, and we were blessed with a lot of things that needed to get done, and they helped us with it. The roof, the walls. I mean, they just fixed everything that we needed. We were told about the Hands of Hope, the organization, through a friend, and she told me to get a hold of Cindy, and I did. I went and spoke to Cindy, and she gave me the requirements that I needed to fill out and bring to him. And after that, it was on their hands, and we waited for their call. And then next thing I know is Mr. John calling that he was coming to inspect the house, see what they could do for us. And it was a lot more than what we thought we were gonna get. They went beyond. And
We can never say enough about Hands of Hope, because of what they did and what they accomplished, to help us. It's more than what we will ever have, So, I pray to the Hands of Hope,
so grateful
and I
for
hope
that
other people that
organization.
have them to help them will appreciate it just as much as we do. And I can't say no. And even now, I still stop once in a while and I look at it and cry. And I don't blame myself at all.
Yeah.
Hands of Hope started before Hurricane Harvey, and Cindy and others in the church were just trying to help people do repairs or make improvements on their property, or to help them to do things that maybe they weren't able to do themselves. And it was small. After the hurricane, Cindy helped us with receiving donated goods and getting them organized and distributing them to people in the community who needed the help. And over time, Hands of Hope, through Cindy Powell's leadership, began to take on that effort, even beyond the hurricane recovery process, to make sure that homeowners in the area were still able to find the help that they need and the resources they needed to get back on their feet again after the storm. I think Hands of Hope was able to act quickly and efficiently to get people organized, not only to discover what the needs were in the community, but also to know how to pair those needs up with the resources that were being made available. Moving forward, it's my hope that Hands of Hope will be the place where people in the community, homeowners, will be able to go and have someone who will listen and take them seriously and have compassion on them, and maybe find ways to pair them up with all of the resources that are available in the coastal bend from around the state and around the world, really, and get people the help that they need for their properties, their homes, and to put their lives back together again. We hope to be a source of help and hope for the community, and also to provide an avenue for people in the community to volunteer, to help their fellow citizens in ways that maybe they haven't been able to before. And it's my hope that as a result, the community will be strengthened, and that Christ will be revealed, and that Christ will be glorified.